Over the next 3 weeks, your inner high priest or high priestess is going to be activating. I'm seeing over the next 3 weeks, you are going to be streamlining information, skills, and abilities. I'm seeing like a detection. Okay, so there's certain things that you're detecting, but I'm seeing it as like a metal detector where it's like beep, beep, beep. You're getting closer, you're getting warmer. It feels like you're onto something. Where you're following the trail of breadcrumbs that the universe is leaving you right now with the North Node in Pisces towards, I'm hearing, a magical discovery. But it's things that you're discovering within your own internal universe that are going to be mirrored and projected into the hologram around you. So let me explain this. I'm seeing you streamlining information from past parallel lifetimes where you have these abilities, where I'm hearing you've moved through this existence in the archetype of a high priest or high priestess, and that continues to express itself through you. That is a fractal expression and octave that you are, I'm hearing, is coming back online for some of you, and others of you it's going to be an exercise. Okay, it's something that you are now strengthening, because there's going to be information that's rising from somewhere far deeper than just the logical mind. You're connected to this hidden wellspring of knowledge that you're going to be streamlining and anchoring in this higher level of awareness into your gameplay experience as you participate in this matrix. So you're in this world, but you're utilizing otherworldly knowledge as you navigate this construct. That's what I'm seeing happening, and your connection is deepening over the next 3 weeks, because from the 26th of February up until the 20th of March, which is going to be the spring equinox, I'm hearing it's mastery of your inner high priest. It's mastery of the inner high priestess. Now, Mercury is going to be in retrograde in the sign of Pisces. So this isn't about the universe communicating to you through thoughts or language, but it's going to be through symbols. It's going to be through your intuition. It's going to be through emotional waves or instinctual gut feelings or reactions that you have, where you're going to know things before you know them. It's very much your future self speaking to you. So every sensitivity is a gift. I'm hearing you're going to be far more receptive to information that's coming through between realms. It's the veil thinning because you're ascending into a higher octave, which is allowing you to access certain dimensional spheres of this reality, different archetypes. So you have High Priestess here. In this deck, she's represented as Isis. So other kind of archetypes that occupy those dimensional fields that you can then pull in and streamline this information from. As you can see, she has this papyrus, but it's like a book of mysteries that you're going to be accessing. And the other message that I got is this could be a gut feeling, it could be a flutter in your chest, it could be a sudden pivot that you're wanting to make in your life's direction, and that's your future self calling the present. So your body is going to be responding in a way that the mind doesn't fully understand. That's what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and read the High Priestess in this deck for you, and then we will continue. I'm going to decode the retrograde, things that you can expect, the Sabian symbols, and then we're going to do a I'm not hearing a survival guide, but this is like a thriving guide, how you can thrive through this mysterious transit. Okay, I'm hearing it's a mysterious transit within you, and transits usually bring different elements and surprises, but this one happens to be seated on the North Node. It's going to be right there alongside your destiny. It's something that your soul is going to be translating. So, Swan. That is the High Priestess in this deck, okay? And she's also got the fruit of the underworld, which is the pomegranate. So this is a profound rebirth or transformation. And journey into your psyche, and the psyche is the interface of where non-physical meets the physical, ether meets matter. Let me read it for you. So the swan flows effortlessly across the glassy water, scattering droplets in elegant patterns. She is at peace with her existence and understands that which is buried deep in the mind. So this is an excavation that's going to be happening. And the thing is, when you excavate things, it's not that you're really discovering anything new, but instead you're uncovering what was already encoded within you and your field, and you're finally becoming aware of it. Okay, so I'm hearing this is your soul gently bringing your awareness to what it is that you've always been. She is your guardian. I'm hearing it's not that you're becoming anyone new in these next 3 weeks, it's that you're returning to whom it is that you've always been. She is your guardian for all important magical transitions and reconnections. That's what this is. It's a magical transition as you reconnect with yourself. With grace and warmth, she unlocks your unconscious and reunites it with your conscious. As she drifts to the melody of the universe, everything comes swirling back to you in a brilliant flash. You feel more connected to yourself than ever before. That's how you're going to feel. Over the next 3 weeks, there is this mystical journey that you're about to be embarking on. Internal, external, you could be traveling with the mind, but this is consciousness, traveling into new dimensions. And once that happens, you can no longer return back to your old form. A glowing shield cascades down the neck of the brilliant swan. The shield represents a protective presence in your life, so the swan is an omen for safe changes. If the swan comes up, you have a decision to make. Take it as affirmation that what you feel in your mind is what your heart needs too. It represents mental clarity, wisdom, and connection with your unconscious mind. Now, because this is in retrograde, I'm seeing it as take it as affirmation that what you feel in your heart is what your mind also needs too. And I feel like there's a way that you're going to be nourishing yourself, nurturing your own mind, especially because this will bring a lot of almost confusion, right? Things that the human mind is yet to kind of catch up on. So it reconnects you with wisdom and connection of your unconscious mind. If you've been waiting to take a plunge into something new, then now is the time. So yeah, this could be a sudden pivot that you're being called to make. Now, when Mercury stations retrograde, this is when you stop thinking about life, but instead you start kind of you begin feeling your way through life. And that's what it feels like is happening. This is a high priestess. So high priestess is a guide who refuses to speak directly to you. Because if you know anything about the high priestess, she doesn't speak to you verbally. She doesn't speak to you through words. She speaks to you cryptically. She speaks to you in symbols. She speaks to you in dreams. She speaks to you in the form of downloads. So it's cryptic messages that you're going to be decoding. You know when you're kind of like in an escape room and everything's like written in riddles? That's what it's going to feel like is happening in your life right now, okay, to kind of like cross this bridge into this new existence for yourself. So yeah, this is like, it's very much this retrograde turns Mercury into this archetype who refuses to speak to you directly, but she communicates in the way that Mercury in Pisces communicates, which is water, right? She'll communicate to you through your emotions, through your own internal reflections, through sensations or subtle movements that will happen beneath the surface in a way that not anyone else can really see. So there's something that you're going to be doing over the next 3 weeks, I feel like with this one, where it's gonna look like it's gracefully happening in the external, but beneath the surface, swan's feet, it's like they're kicking to kind of stay afloat. So there's so much that you're gonna be internally processing that I don't feel like people understand the half of it. Right? That's kind of what I'm seeing, right? So it could be goosebumps, it could be visual flashes. It's all to do with your own internal world. And people see it, but not in the same way that you see it. It reminds me of when you cry and your eyes start tearing. The world sees one version of that where they know that there's something that's happening and they can understand that you're tearing up, but they don't see what it is that you're seeing. It's like you see something that they may just be looking at, right? Because what it is that you're seeing is now blurry when it comes to your vision. They can only hear the things in which you're listening to. You may feel crazy because no one else can hear the calling that you're receiving over the next 3 weeks because it wasn't a conference call. It wasn't designed for everyone to hear. I'm hearing it's specifically designed. I'm hearing it's an assignment, actually. Ooh, it reminds me of this song. There's a specific word or sentence where you're in alignment with your divine assignment. Let me find it. It's actually something that I was talking about a while ago. Let me see if I can find it on my notes real quick. This is how the next 3 weeks is going to feel for you. So the song that was coming through was Divine Assignment. I go back on my notes because I remember doing the reading about this, and this was on the 29th of September 2024. 29th of September could be a significant date. You may want to take a look at what happened for you during that date, but it says you understood the divine assignment. And it's a canvas for your life and a new picture that's being painted. Anyway, the song is by Gemini, and a divine assignment is a task given by God that comes with the ability to solve problems that have eternal value. So it's the soul's divine assignment. Now, talks about becoming Christ-like and something being carried out with precision, and it's instructed by a higher power, by a higher intelligence that moves through you, the higher intelligence that you are that's experiencing itself in the human form. This is about you having the power to complete the assignment, no matter how difficult it may seem. It also should be considered through the lens of eternity, and that it's important to consider how the assignment will affect the hereafter. So this is something that you are going to be, I'm hearing that you're wrapping up. There's something that you're closing out in this lifetime. There's certain, I'm hearing threads that are being tied up right now. Okay, like loose ends that you're tying up. And it's leading to the completion. And it's interesting because it leads us up to the equinox. So there's certain things within the astrological new year that we're being brought in that you're finally closing out and wrapping up, so that the canvas for your life can become blank once again. That's what it feels like. It's like you're starting off at an ace. You're being led into an ace. So this could be a new career opportunity. It could be a creative opportunity. It could be, if we talk about the air, it could be clarity that you're having around your life's direction by the time 20th of March hits. It could be, what's the last element? We have fire, water, air, and earth. Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah, it could also be a creative impulse or spark, a creative project, something that has a lot of potential for growth, okay? Something you're very passionate about. The lyrics are, think fast, move past. The fear that this moment won't last. I've got more to amass. It's 1414 right now. That is a card of possibilities in my angel number message. I'll read it for you after. All right, this is very high priestess anyway. Just heading into this reading, I thought it was going to go one way, and we're on a whole journey. We're on a whole roller coaster right now. So I feel like that's exactly how it's going to feel. She says, think fast, move past the fear that this moment won't last. I've got more to amass. I've been trusted with something so fly, and I ain't asking why. This feels right. No lie. I've received my calling, and it's enthralling. I've made up my mind, and there's no need to decide because my path is solidified. I received my divine assignment so I can walk in alignment. And she goes on to say, I've received my divine assignment so I can walk in alignment. And she says, you know, dear Lord, thank you for the love from above and the purpose that you placed on me. Thank you for the gifts in the midst of the shifts. I can feel your presence on me. I prayed for the strength and the courage and the wisdom to birth what you placed in me. So again, it's like you're bringing out the best in me, and it's for me, let it stay. If it's not, then let it go. If it's gone, get in my way. I don't want that no more. If I'm blind, then help me see. If I'm wrong, then help me grow. Take your time with me. I only want what you want. So again, there's almost like this essence of surrender. There's almost this essence of this eternal journey that you're embarking on, and this is a huge chapter that you're walking through. There's a huge chapter that you're closing out, and there's a huge chapter that you're about to walk into. That's what this feels like. It's like a pivotal point that you're being led up to, because the ability to trust yourself, that's what you're moving through. It's about cultivating a profound sense of self-trust to follow your heart, because your heart is going to be the very thing that leads you to doing certain things in the new year. I'm hearing to culminating certain things in the new year and to leading yourself. There's something, it's like this is the training ground for this new chapter. You know, it's like a character that's kind of acquiring these skills, they're developing these abilities and gifts that then going to carry them forth into this new life. That's what I'm seeing for you specifically. So when we even talk about like the high priestess, it's a destiny energy, right? Because Mercury is literally seated beside the North Node for this entire retrograde. So this is going to carry things like intuitive hits. It's going to also carry consequences, because you're not just sensing things, but you are being guided. That's very much what this is. And at the base of this deck, we also have the Death card, which is Anubis energy, and this is about the sun setting, right? You reaching a closure in your life so that a new life can be born from you. yeah, this transit will speak to you in the form of signs and symbols because there's an internal shift before this shift occurs in the external realm. It's very much a random feeling that completely ends up redirecting your path or your journey. It could be a dream that plants this idea and it ends up becoming real, ends up becoming a part of your everyday lived experience, or a moment of discomfort that pushes you away from something that isn't aligned and actually ends up pushing you towards something else that would be more conducive and beneficial for your soul's highest possible expression in this existence. So yeah, it could be even like sudden attraction that pulls you towards a timeline that you are actually meant to inhabit. That's very much what this is. It's being guided by a higher power. It's being guided by the soul. It's being guided by the non-physical. It's going to feel like there's an intangible hand that is quite literally guiding your life over the next 3 weeks. So yeah, don't be surprised with that. The North Node will sharpen your intuition in the way that you'll begin to see things that you would normally overlook, and your nervous system will tell you things before your mind even catches up. So like this whole retrograde that's going to be happening is guidance that's going to bypass the mind completely, and it's going to speak directly to the soul. That's what this is. So let's talk a little bit more about this Mercury retrograde, what it will entail, and then we're going to go ahead and do a thriving guide and reading. This period will feel like being underwater but fully conscious. Your outer world softens as your inner world becomes louder. You'll feel more intuitive, more porous, and more connected to subtle energies. Your emotions may rise without explanation. Your dreams will become vivid, symbolic, and prophetic. You just know things that you can't justify logically. Old memories or past life themes may surface in flashes. This isn't confusion, but instead it's realignment, because Mercury in Pisces is in its fall. So it's dissolving Mercury energy, which is the mind. It's dissolving the mind so that the truth can finally be heard. Let me read to you the Sabian symbol for the degree that Mercury will be stationing retrograde in, and this is 22 degrees of Pisces. A prophet bringing down a new law from Sinai. This degree is all about revelation, high authority, and the moment when spiritual truth descends into human awareness. The image is a prophet walking down the mountain with a new law that speaks to receiving guidance from a higher realm, moral and ethical awakening, spiritual quickening, the moment your life can no longer continue the way it has. The theme is high authority, and it speaks to revelation and transcendental experience that brings insight and awareness of a high authority. The image is of a man bringing down a new law from Sinai, alluding to Moses and the 10 Commandments. It emphasizes spiritual and ethical rules of conduct, and it refers to a mystical experience or a spiritual quickening that transforms the way an individual lives their lives. This isn't about new information, but it's about a higher truth interrupting your old patterns. 22 degrees of Pisces symbolizes moral integrity, accountability to your soul, and personal sacrifice for the greater good. It's living by an inner code rather than external validation. Revelation that transforms your path as we begin to unbury what has been missing, broken, or not functioning, and what needs to be released. It also warns against the shadow side, which is arrogance disguised as spiritual superiority, bending rules to avoid responsibility, or trying to get away with something. The question becomes, do your actions match your truth? Are you living what you preach? And are you aligned with the vow you made to your soul? Because this retrograde is not about confusion, it's about correction, a return to the original blueprint, and a return to the inner law you agreed to long before this lifetime. What this retrograde invites you to do is to let go of the need to figure everything out, to stop forcing clarity, and stop analyzing every sign. Clarity will come, but it won't come from overthinking. It will come from feeling, sensing, observing, and allowing. This is the time to listen to your dreams, to trust your intuition, and to let your body guide you, to pay attention to the synchronicity, emotion, and symbolism. Something is trying to reach you. A message, a direction, a knowing from a well of wisdom that you don't normally have access to. So when Mercury stations direct on March 20th, everything that felt symbolic clicks into place. Suddenly the fog lifts and your intuition aligns with action, and the path ahead becomes unmistakably clear. So this isn't mental clarity, it's destiny clarity, the kind that shifts your entire timeline. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading for you. I keep hearing the thriving guide in the Mercury retrograde. So I'm actually gonna pull my Egyptian deck for this one. I want to open up with tarot. Or should we do... No, let's do this one. I kind of want to do a... What's this deck called? Does anyone remember? I think it's the Lightseers deck. Yeah. Let's go and take a look at the theme of the overall retrograde for you, the theme, and then we'll take a look at the obstacle or the thing that you're inviting or you're being called to move through, that level of resistance for soul growth. For the theme, we have the Four of Cups. So this is very much water energy. Okay, Four of Cups is a moment where essentially the universe is handing you this new lifeline. Okay, it's handing you this new bowl. And these bowls are something that this woman has gotten basically really tired from. She's kind of outgrown. So they no longer bring her the sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Therefore, the card represents reevaluation of one's life path, especially towards a direction that feels like it's going to be more, I'm hearing, applicable to the things that you're doing now, applicable to the version of self and the way that it wants to express itself. I'm hearing the soul and the way that it chooses to express itself, but also something that is going to be emotionally fulfilling for you. So it's very much a water energy. Things do kind of feel like they're up in the air because this person has not yet made a decision that will then collapse into part of their timeline, into part of their, again, collapse through space and time and become part of their third dimensional experience. They're still in the element of mystery. They're still in the element of contemplation. They're still in the element of trying to figure things out. So that's how this is going to feel. And what's interesting is the fundamental basis and the supporting foundation of this card is the Judgment. And Judgment represents a soul's calling. So this whole retrograde is going to feel like the soul is calling you in ways that the mind doesn't understand. It's like you keep getting this tap on your shoulder in this new direction, and the universe is saying, hey, look over here. It's going to be very different from what you've previously experienced, okay, or what it is that your mind would expect. So that's what this is. Judgment is it's a Plutarian energy. So in many ways, this can talk about an unavoidable transformation that you are really contemplating at this time in your life. Okay, so that's how the next 3 weeks are going to feel. Let's go and take a look at the obstacle. I mean, even behind the Judgment, we have the Tower. So yeah, definitely an energy of sudden pivots, sudden callings that could ultimately end up redirecting your entire life path. Let's go and take a look at the obstacle or the invitation. Okay, so the resistance that you're going to be facing is Five of Cups. So it's more internal than anything. Five of Cups is a moment where the cups have spilled and this woman is essentially really sad about spilt milk. She's really sad about what couldn't be, the things that she's grieving that no longer are, as she knows she's being invited to focus on what she does have. She's being invited to focus on allowing the river of regret and resentment to flow with the flow of abundance itself. And that's going to carry her elsewhere. Okay, it's like the river of gratitude. Okay, there's a quote that's coming through. It's the river of gratitude washes away any grief, resentment, or sorrow. That's what this says. She is having to control her mind. Your obstacle is going to be controlling your mind in order to be able to control your emotional state, and that will also allow you to control the narrative. It will allow you to take authorship over your own life and the way that you choose to experience these next 3 weeks onwards, really, because this is going to have a ripple effect because it's on the nodes. And the funny thing is, when that happens, she has a paradigm shift, and right behind her in the original deck, in the Rider-Waite deck, there is this bridge behind him, but he wouldn't have any clue that the universe was directing him towards a castle full of infinite cups. So here he was crying about the ones that had spilt and what couldn't be, when really he was being led to an endless flow of plenty. So that's what this is. It may not turn out the way you hope, but can you trust that it will turn out the exact way that you asked for? And the journey itself may not go the way you plan. But can you trust the process that you're going to end up exactly where you want it? And it's more about an essence. It's more about an essence and allowing the form to reveal itself to you. Because she wants more cups, but she doesn't know how that's going to come in. And with the Wheel of Fortune here at the base, this is synchronistic encounters. The obstacles are that abundance is all around you, but it may come through unexpected forms. That's what your obstacle is. Okay, this could come through invitations, it could come through opportunities, it may come through ideas or downloads. But abundance is all around you. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. The obstacle is, can you recognize that something may be right in front of you? Something may already be in your field. Okay, that's what this is. And it's going to be hidden in plain sight with this energy, with mercurial energy. It's going to be very much hidden in plain sight because that's what the theme is, right? It's like this cup on this new lifeline is already in her field, but she just needs to shift her perspective. Like she just needs to shift. Literally, it's like the universe is going to be bringing your head and it's going to say, we need you to look over here, okay? Stop looking at what's over here. We need you to look over here now. That's very much what it is. It's like a pivotal. Can you shift the way that you're feeling about this situation, shift the way that you're thinking about it, and that will ultimately shift the way that you experience it. You'll notice something that is already here. We're showing you the way. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. In both cards, they both have a very similar feel to it, where you may be the only one that gets in your own way. Because there is something that's presenting itself to you, and if you can quiet the mind, then outward things will disclose itself to you. But you must be like water. You must surrender. You must flow. You must be willing to be shown the way and allow, outward things to disclose themselves to you. That's what this is. You're not going to control when that happens. But can you recognize when it's right in front of you? Okay, that's what I see. Right, let's go ahead and take a look at a message of the near past, but I'm hearing that's right now. Okay, the near past. The near past, we had two cards that flipped, which is the Two of Coins, the Star card, and the Tower. Interesting, right? Because what comes after the Tower moment? Well, the Star card. Okay, so there's a moment of upheaval, there's a moment of chaos that you may be currently experiencing or that you've moved through, especially with the Two of Pentacles. You know, it's a very tumultuous journey. It's somebody essentially navigating a new timeline. They're trying to find their balance. Traditionally, it's somebody riding a unicycle, so they're navigating this in a way that may be not so traditional, but they are finding their footing. Okay, they're balancing, they're grounding and anchoring this new balancing technique. They're showing me the shaman's dream oracle message of any part of your life is going to feel like it's up in the air at any given moment in time, but can you learn to kind of dance with that tempo? Can you dance with the flow? Right, that's what it feels like. Things feel like they're up in the air because after a tower, you need to allow the energy to settle. All the dust is going to be up in the air and you're not really going to see that star right now, but there is some type of renewed vision that you have. There is a renewed sense of hope. And the Star card is also healing. It's a connection that you have to a higher power that has strengthened through this chaotic energy that you've gone through. There is a cosmos that's revealing itself to you. I feel like the more that you look back as well at your past, you're able to connect the dots. And so there's this sense of, you know, self-trust as you move forth. There is a sense of, I don't know what it is, but I know it goes beyond me. Yeah. So you've experienced a lot of chaos, but there is also faith. And your faith was actually made stronger, not through just more faith, but it was made stronger through the turbulence. And you know that your self-belief isn't just a feeling, but it quite literally is a behavior. It's a behavior that you were able to cultivate on the dark nights of the storm, where you had to comfort yourself. Like, so there's some type of work that you've done behind closed doors There's some type of healing work that you've done behind closed doors, where it feels like you went through a series of tests, but really it was an initiation. It was an initiation to bring you here. Let's go and take a look at the near future. My goodness, I haven't done this spread in probably years. The near future is the Six of Cups. Right behind that, we have the King of Wands. So the near future is showing up right now as a Sun and Scorpio energy, first and foremost, which are things will be shortly illuminated to your own soul and your own psyche. This is also knowing that what used to be your main story is soon to be your backstory, because this is somebody turning over a new leaf. They're turning over a new chapter, and there is a lot of healing taking place in that process. Okay, finally being able to turn that new leaf. And when you do look back at that past, there is this essence. I'm hearing this core essence of strength that wouldn't have been cultivated without it. Self-belief and trust that would not have been cultivated without it. Now, with the King of Wands, let me just fill into this for a minute. There's a bigger goal or vision that you have for this next chapter. And in the near future, you're planting all the right seeds for that to happen. The King of Wands is an archetype who will plant seeds, he will nurture them, they will grow, and he will reach that end goal that he has intended to experience. So there's something that you're moving forth with. Some of you, it could be entrepreneurship, it doesn't have to be, but that is also what the King of Wands represents. There's this essence of like self-leadership where you're leading yourself through this next chapter and what that looks like. So that's your near future for the retrograde. Okay. But don't get me wrong, it's coming forth in like very mysterious ways. It feels like there's things you're excavating from the past for that to happen. This is also past life energy as well. That's worth mentioning with this, with the Sun and Scorpio. That's also past life. Okay, so this feels like other skills that you're acquiring in order to make that happen. We had the Three of Wands that was coming up in the opportunity this month. The opportunity could be, it doesn't have to be travel, it could be a wave of opportunity that does come in. This person is essentially with the law of resonance, they're calling something in, and there is some type of alignment that's taking place. So this is an opportunity away, usually is a call away, an answer away, a question away, for something to happen and translate into a physical experience. So there's some type of wave or some type of opportunity to gain or ride some type of momentum, okay, this month or over these next 3 weeks. But it's all about timing. And I'm seeing trust the way that you came in on. Time is not running out in my Starseed message deck. So there will be the perfect wave that does come through in the next 3 weeks. I'm hearing some of you, it's going to come through the wave of an intuitive knowing that will wash over you. It will come in the wave of, just clarity finally that washes over you, that gives you permission or the validation to take that next step, even without the physical results. Okay. Your hopes and wishes is the lovers. So this is a timeline split. Okay, the lovers is essentially a card of free will. Somebody applying their free will, deciding what it is that they want to do. They're essentially at a split of timelines. A decision that you make will branch you off into a new, I'm hearing lifetime within this lifetime of experiences. A decision that you make branches you off into a new universe within this multiverse. Okay, I'm hearing there is something that will come through in your hopes. Some type of a decision that you make ends up becoming a huge turning point for you. Ace of Cups could be a creative opportunity for sure, or something that you love doing, something that you're deciding from the heart space. It feels like the heart is going to be leading on a very specific path. The logical mind may be doing another. but there is almost like a surrendering of the mind and following the heart and being guided in a way that the mind doesn't fully understand. And if you follow the heart, you'll find yourself in that universe. You'll find that universe begin to collapse around you. That's what I'm seeing. Collapse into your existence. Okay, it feels like the heart has its own neural network. So the heart literally has connections that it will lead you towards, its own kind of nucleus of a family. So that's opportunities. It's leading you into an ecosystem filled with people, opportunities, and timelines readily available for you to experience. Let's get a closing out message, which is going to be your advice for the next 3 weeks. Your advice for the next 3 weeks, 444 on the clock, so there is a protection essence. King of Cups. The King of Cups has mastery over his emotions. He also has mastery over his mental space. And because of that, he's able to utilize his discernment very clearly. He is one with water. So again, quiet the mind so that outward things can disclose themselves to you. There is this essence of he pays attention to what others don't. I feel like it's to embody the King of Cups archetype this month. I feel like that is going to be something you're being called to do while you move through Pisces season. It's the highest archetype of the highest expression that you can embody this season, for sure. Meditation could be something that helps you. I'm hearing binary beats could be something that helps you. Grounding will be something that allows you to listen to your intuition without, I'm hearing, your emotional body overriding that. Regulation of the nervous system, dreaming, journaling, creativity. Those are the things that the King of Cups excels at. But he's not afraid to sit with himself and understand the information behind his emotions. Your future self speaks to you through the form of emotions. Can you decode those emotions that are organized via vibrational frequency and understand what it is that they are telling you, what it is that you are telling yourself, the octave that's seated at a high level of understanding that will speak to you through these cryptic ways. And don't mistake fear for intuition, especially fear of the unknown and fear of the new. Let's go ahead and get a Gateway of the Light activation message as well. Gateway of the Light activation is our star activation. What do we speak about? High Priestess Isis energy. Look at her coming back out. Okay, I'm definitely speaking to High Priest, High Priestess, star activation. Check this, right? Just huge confirmation, closing out the reading. The Earth Star chakra beneath your feet is the energetic portal that connects us directly with the soul wisdom of Mother Earth. It's our gateway to the underworld of the earth, a sacred and space of magic and mystery where we'll find a lot of tools, gifts, and skills that the ancients used to connect with the earth and her wisdom. The Egyptian goddess Isis appears on this card as our spiritual guide. So Isis is going to very much, I mean, that's why I was guided to speak about Isis as a Mercury retrograde sign in Pisces. She is a high priestess of the stars who knows the importance of connecting with the underworld to stay grounded, aware, and manifest all that it is that we need to grow. And that's why you had the underworld fruit. I don't know where she is now, but you had the underworld fruit, which is the pomegranate that is depicted on this deck, right? Because that's a symbol of rebirth, okay? The way that you move through this system and the way that you trust yourself is being reborn. Follow in her footsteps by connecting to your Earth Star. Anchor down and go digging within to find any parts of your magic, wisdom, and experiences that have been pushed down, both in this incarnation and previous lifetimes. These tools could be helpful in the next phase of your journey. I'm not even going to say anything because we are both thinking the same thing. We are telepathic. We are both thinking the same thing. When you draw this card, know your Earth Star has been activated and the wisdom you once ignored is finally being acknowledged. The rejected parts of yourself have now been rediscovered. There is an opportunity for you to rediscover magic too, but stay firmly rooted in all of your endeavors. Let the earth hold and sustain you. Don't rush ahead. In fact, if you've been wondering if it's time to move forward, know that it isn't. Stay put for the time being. Important information is about to be revealed, so wait, stand strong. This is a time of integration and rest rather than pushing forward. Great wisdom lies within you. Dive deep and find it, and trust in yourself. You have more strength than you realize. What a beautiful message to close out on. Need I say more? It's exactly what we open up this message saying. So this is your thrival guide. It's your thriving guide for the next 3 weeks. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You don't need me to tell you that. So, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out 𝓬𝓭𝓪 if you're looking for some high quality AAE grade jewelry. Small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful gemstones. I don't know if you can see the 𝓬𝓪 spirit symbol there. And anything else? $1 of the proceeds are donated towards 𝓬𝓪 sanctuaries. I don't know if I said that already. Also, for personal readings, again, quick disclaimer, I will only be taking very limited readings over the next week because I will be embarking on a journey and you guys will be coming with. So enjoy the new series that we have upcoming at the speed of alignment. I'll share that with you and disclose all of that information. But until next time, bye!
Clouds in the sky don't care if I stay all day. Dreaming of time when you and I would